Hi there, Dave Schwartz here, author of Roll the Bones, The History of Gambling, now available in the Casino Edition, back again with another chapter summary. Today I'm talking about Chapter 9, which is called Hard to Resist. Nevada becomes America's gambling oasis, and it's about, no big surprise, the development of legal gambling in Nevada. And I start out in the early days of the state, before it was even a state or a territory, when gambling was the preferred pastime of the miners who settled there. When Nevada became officially organized as a territory in 1861, gambling was outlawed. But 8 years later, after it had become a state, the legislators voted to bring it back and legalize gambling again. And initially there were some kind of funny rules. By today's standards at least, there was no state oversight of gambling licenses. Everything was collected at the county level. The gambling age was 17, and my favorite quirky little rule, you could only have gambling in the back room. You could not have gambling in the front room of the first floor of a building. It could be in the back room on the first floor or in the front room on upper stories, but not in the front room of the first floor. So that was kind of an interesting little thing. And gambling continued to be legal until 1909, when reform groups put pressure on the legislature to outlaw it, so they did. 2 years later, though, they brought back social gaming as legal. That means poker, not Facebook, obviously, in 1911, but poker and games like that where you weren't betting against the house, but against each other. And there were some calls to bring back full-on commercial gambling, legal commercial gambling, but that didn't really go anywhere until 1931. By that point, the Depression had happened in Nevada. The state was doing really poorly, and the legislature figured whatever, couldn't hurt. So they legalized commercial gambling. And originally, Reno was the center of Nevada's gambling. It had the most residents, it had the most gambling halls, and there were a lot of interesting characters there, like James Mckay and William Graham, who were alleged to have laundered money for gangsters and done all sorts of other unsavory things, and eventually the law did catch up with them. They owned the Bank Club, which was the leading casino for a while. There was also the Palace Club, where John Petricciani introduced the game of keno to Nevada and made history there. Another one of the early clubs that really did well was Harold's Club, which was founded by Raymond Pappy Smith. And even if Harold's Club wasn't an innovative casino for marketing and things like that in the 30s, I still would have put it in the book because I just like saying Pappy. So there's that. Then I talk about the story of Bill Harrah, whose name you might have heard. He originally ran a bingo game in Venice, California, then moved to Reno in 1937 and got involved with bingo and eventually opening a casino there, and that became the basis for the Harrah's Entertainment eventual empire. Also talk about some other areas like Lake Tahoe and Ely and Elko, where gambling was found in the 30s, and then move south to talk about a small town called Las Vegas. At the time, Hoover Dam really was the thing that created the impetus for Las Vegas's growth. Gambling was very small, but I do talk about all the early clubs and about the role that women played in them. Unlike in Reno, which had women dealers, Las Vegas didn't, but some clubs had women as owners, so there's that. I also talk about the segregation in the early Las Vegas gambling halls and the move of many of the black gamblers and owners to the west side of Las Vegas. So I talk about that aspect as well. And I also throw in some interesting characters like Guy McAfee, who's one of my favorite. He had been the commander of the Vice Squad in Los Angeles, was discovered to own several illegal casinos in Los Angeles, and instead of creating a huge media scandal, they let him resign quietly. He moved to Las Vegas and founded the Golden Nugget. So next time you visit the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas or Laughlin or Atlantic City, remember, it was founded by Guy McAfee. And then the chapter closes with just on the cusp of a historic change. The Strip is about to be born outside of Las Vegas, but we'll save that story for next chapter. Until then, if you want more information about the book, including where to get it, if you've not already gotten it, you can go to rollthebonesbook.com. And that's all I have to say about Chapter 9. Thank you very much.